Opened back in 2003, have a look at the Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Today we've got a Week 5 matchup in store here, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line, so this is going to come out to the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Nix to throw right away. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
What a start here to the ball game. You get the good kick return, followed by a quick first down through the air. If this defense isn't careful, they might be looking at a deficit before they know what hit them.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. You look at this Eagle defense. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7.
7.
I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
It's a gain of 6.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. That's to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10.
Bombers.
Throwing Nix. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. That's taken in by Franklin. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down. Nix going to give to Harvey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Brought down that time by Nolan Smith. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
At the 9-yard line.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Nix from the shotgun. His pass caught at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield.
J.K. Dobbins, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Lutz with the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Eagles nothing.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. this out to the 25. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. The Eagles at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. If you look at this Bronco defense, they enter this one number 13, Charles, in the NFL in stopping the run.
I jotted down in my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we got to keep an eye on, because you talk about where they rank in stopping the run. Well, how about what they're facing? This unit loves to run the football, and they rank highly in the league in getting it done.
Yeah, power against power. Something's got to give. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. See some head shaking on that defensive sideline because so much focus on taking away what he did last week as NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Big gain there for him to start.
I love your observation, because you would think they'd be prepared for him after what he did the previous week. But sometimes that skill set actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Good.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are an extra point away from drawing level. Elliott good with a PAT. And we are tied at 7.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
To throw is Nix. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
A first down carry for Barkley. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
No touch. No touch.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 63 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the Broncos' 26-yard line.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. This will be caught by Brown. But I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. Going quickly out to the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Dallas Goedert, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Eagles take the chance on 4th and goal, and it pays off with 6. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
Makes the score Eagles 14, Broncos 7. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
That's caught. Waddle on the left side. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 39-yard line.
Nix to the air. Oh, that is incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
It's 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To throw, here's Nix. And it's taken in by his big tight end. And he will be taken down, but a big play there as it comes just as we reach the 2-minute warning. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Here's Nix. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Bombers.
Here's Nix once more. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Evan Ingram from 19 yards away. And the Broncos are an extra point away from evening this one up. Their first passing touchdown of the ball game, and they go to the big tight end in those sure hands, and he provides the score.
Certainly looked like they were focused on taking away other weapons, and he certainly made them regret that because he found the soft spot, ended up taking it to the end zone. Nice throw, too, to complete the play.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And a nice return, but he's going to pay for it as they knock him down hard at the end.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on the toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Hurts. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he is going to have an Eagles first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. 114 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. He went over 100 yards a week ago, and with that run, he does it again.
He's an absolute horse, a guy that eats carries. And what I mean by that, the more you hand it to him, the more the production you're going to get. A big-time performer.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Eagles will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Elliott on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14.
Makes the score Eagles 21, Broncos 14. Jake Elliott to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Wants to try to add the PAT. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21.
Will Lutz to kick off.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Brown with a stick skills. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They go play action with Hurts. And this is caught on the sideline. And he gets out of bounds as well. How about that? Give him 32 on the play.
And what great recognition between a receiver and his quarterback, because he's going to recognize the trouble, and then he has two options. Cut off the route and come back to help, or head straight down the field, and he chooses the latter, and it turns into a huge play. Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll, and now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
The kick by Elliott is good. And with it, they'll take the lead at 24-21. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Captain.
The final shot before break. Nix. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports.
Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball. And
there he goes, right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, 73 yards. And the Eagles come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Elliott good on the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Jake Elliott to kick off for
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
At their own 35-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6. Now it's Nix. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Jalen Waddle, 61 yards. And the Broncos are back within a score. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a pretty slick return there. Almost got it to the 45. Officially, they'll call him down at the 44.
And that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads takes this one down almost all. 224 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that.
Touchdown, Philadelphia! Saquon Barkley with career touchdown number 75 as his guys are able to extend their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Elliott good with a PAT. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
And they'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Down the left sideline. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jalen Waddle with now his second touchdown of this third quarter. And the Broncos have cut it back within a score. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now.
The score, Eagles 38, Broncos 35.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 to 27.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a first and 10. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, second down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
A gain of a yard.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first two plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that fourth down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
I got him, man. I got him. He's mine. No touch that. Right there, you right there. No touch.
Barkley inside handoff. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Second and a couple.
Very set. Right there, you right there. No touch.
It's Barkley on the counter. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
4 yards.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Very set. And let's go. No.
They'll go to Barkley again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up second and 12.
No touch.
Now a toss right to Barkley. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
The Eagles send out their punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. So both offenses come to life here in this third quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
This one into the hands of Ingram downfield. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A huge play there for Denver. 47 yards. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Now a 2nd and 10. Nix to throw again. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Jihad Campbell. And they finally put an end to this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. A handoff to Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
It's a gain of
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Eagles, first down.
Good.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Here's a give to Barkley. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You just give your superstar the ball and continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
73. No touch. Throw
right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Eagles get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Elliott now to add the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Eagles 45, Broncos 35. Jake Elliott.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone. So this ball will come out to the 30 now. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
Well, at least it wasn't a turnover like the last drive. You'd think they'd make an adjustment and be ready to make up for that turnover. Instead, just another big play for the defense on that snap.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Bombers.
Back to throw. Nix. He gets this into the hands of Harvey. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass. NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run, and that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Back to throw now on first down. Nick's going to keep this himself. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. That is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Gets this quickly to Ingram. All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Looking to throw. Nix. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
Here's 2nd down. Back to throw. Nix. He targets Ingram for another grab. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. to throw again. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Here it is, 4th and inches. They're going. It's Nix. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Officially, no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends are like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 3rd and 12. Play action. Here's Hurts. He'll try and do this himself. He's got a man. Complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown, 79 yards. And the Eagles are closing in on a 4-1 start as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Elliott on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
52, Broncos 35. Jake Elliott.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where, as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Bombers, bombers, bombers.
Working out of the gun is Nix. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Eagles are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6.
Now Saquon Barkley. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That one good for 33 and a first.
So that last run is going to be the one to do it. He has officially broken the NFL single-game rushing record.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Barkley. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout call here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game.
Second down and 6 now.
Running left, it's Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Eagles, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Denver, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.